Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to subscribe, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, the series kicks off with several men aboard Navy ships, surveying a nearby island, all stating that their weapons have no chance against mysterious enemies. Heading onto the island, we follow several hunters facing the mysterious enemies, a swarm of monster red ants. As the frontline hunters work together, they attempt to physically stall the red ants, all whilst other hunters barrage the ants with spells, but sadly the hunters are ultimately overrun by the swarm. As they all begin begging for their lives, the hunters all note how they are far too low level to be facing such powerful creatures, but just then, Byung-ji-yu, SSS-RANK healer, arrives. As Byung-ji-yu begins healing the injured, Yoon-sok wielding lightning magic, and Yeonho wielding martial arts skills, begin clearing the area of the swarm of red ants. Amazed that the three S-rank hunters were easily able to save them, everyone suddenly senses a greater white ant monster appear, prompting Yoon-sok and Yeonho to volunteer to defeat the monster, all whilst Byung-ji-yu continues to treat the injured. With both S-rank adventurers dashing towards the white ant, Yeonho chooses to wrestle with the creature, giving Yoon-sok enough time to prepare a powerful lightning spell, perfectly striking the white ant from behind. As the creature is temporarily paralyzed, Yeonho rips off the white ant's two front-facing fangs, leaping back, only to launch one of the torn-off fangs at the white ant, easily carving a hole in the creature's torso with his projectile. With no time to breathe, both S-rank hunters spot swarms of white ants approaching their location, forcing Yeonho to awaken his berserker mode, and Yoon-sok to unleash simultaneous waves of lightning. Cutting to a nearby town on the same island, we spot Guildmaster Choi rally several other hunters in town, all standing off against a swarm of ants. Channeling a single flame spell, Choi signals the start of their raid on the ants, easily incinerating the weaker red ants, only to order his guild to begin attacking the greater white ants. Apparently, 10 years ago, several gates had begun appearing out of nowhere, allowing powerful monsters deemed magic beasts to appear. Seeing as conventional military weapons were useless against these magic beasts, it was discovered that humans began awakening with powers and skills that could rival the appearance of these magic beasts. These people were called hunters. Once a hunter had awakened, they would be given a rank from rank S to rank E, and sadly once someone has awakened, there would be no way of improving one's rank no matter how hard they trained. Cutting to the present day, 3 years later, we see a Mr. Kim sipping on some coffee in preparation for a raid only to greet Park. Mr. Kim learns that Park's wife has recently gotten pregnant again, explaining Park's reason for attending their raid today, as he hopes to earn some extra cash for the family. Just then, our MC, Sung Jinwoo, arrives, greeting everyone as everyone is clearly happy to hear that Jinwoo is here. Seeing the attention Jinwoo is getting, Park asks Mr. Kim if Jinwoo is absurdly strong, but Mr. Kim corrects Park, stating that Jinwoo had been deemed the weakest adventurer ever to be discovered, and the reason everyone is happy is because they know any raid Jinwoo partakes in will be easy for them. Cutting over to Jinwoo, we see him hold in the sadness from overhearing Mr. Kim and Park gossip about his weak status, but suddenly bumps into Joohee, happy to be working with her again. Cutting Jinwoo off, Joohee demands to know why Jinwoo is so covered in scars, but as they sit down, Joohee helplessly listens as Jinwoo recounts his latest raid on an E-rank dungeon, blaming himself for not being strong enough to avoid being hurt. Before Joohee can say anything, they are both called to have a group meeting. Introducing himself as Song Cheol, Song states that he will be leading their raid, since he is the most highly ranked out of their party. With the meeting over, everyone begins making their way over to a portal, all heading in one by one, leaving only Jinwoo left. Taking out a blade he was barely able to afford, Jinwoo takes a deep breath, gripping his blade tight, only to head through the portal. Elsewhere, we follow an old man, Go Gunhee, chatting with one of his employees, mentioning how the items collected upon slaying magic beasts are known as essence stones. Cutting back to Jinwoo, we see that he has managed to slay a magic beast by himself, acquiring an essence stone, but is caught off guard when a goblin sneaks up on him. Able to dodge the goblin's advances, Jinwoo goes in for a strike, but his blade shatters upon impact, leaving Jinwoo wide open for the goblin to stab him. Seeing Jinwoo in trouble, Park runs over to slay the goblin, heading back to help the rest of the group with other monsters, all whilst Joohee is forced to stop Jinwoo from bleeding out. As Jinwoo lies on the floor, He admires Song's magnificent skills, but just then we cut back to Go Gunhee talking more about the uses of essence stones. Go Gunhee states that stones acquired from slaying magic beasts allow powerful weapons to be crafted, but similar things can be done to mana crystals collected from dungeon raids. Most importantly, Go Gunhee states that the government is attempting to harvest energy from these mana and essence crystals, hopefully discovering a brand new way of acquiring energy. Back with Jinwoo, we see that his party had managed to deal with the swarm of monsters and the dungeon's boss, but Jinwoo notices Juhee's serious look. Juhee states that she is seriously worried for Jinwoo, not wanting him to push himself into dangerous situations. Just then, one of their party members points out that there is a tunnel that leads somewhere, catching everyone's attention as they suspect that this may be a double dungeon. Since the party wasn't able to acquire that much loot from their current dungeon, several people reason that they should be able to acquire extra loot, but the group leader Song wants to make sure everyone is on board. Upon taking a vote, Song counts 6 votes for continuing into the second dungeon and 6 votes against, leading only Jinwoo's vote. Thinking about his current situation, Jinwoo reveals that his father had gone missing, his mother is currently hospitalized and his sister is about to enter college soon. Since he is the only one that can work, Jinwoo votes for entering the second dungeon. Cutting to Guildmaster Choi and his massive building, we see him mentioning a hunter by the name of Cha Hae-in, but just then, right outside his building, we see 2 thieves steal a lady's handbag, fleeing on a motorcycle. Before the thieves can escape, Cha Hae-in appears, easily retrieving the stolen bag, only to leap away to avoid being swarmed, having become famous from being a S-rank hunter. Back with Jinwoo and his party, we see him apologizing to Juhee, always thankful for a B-rank hunter like Juhee being there for him, but sees that Juhee is clearly mad at Jinwoo for voting to explore the dungeons. Since dungeons close after a dungeon's boss is defeated, the party note how they have around 20 minutes to spare, but Juhee is pissed that Jinwoo is always putting his life in danger, but to make up for it, she demands Jinwoo take her out for a meal, as a thanks for always taking care of him. Just then, the gang encounter a huge set of intimidating doors, but holding back their fear, they venture onwards. As they enter a massive room, they notice the room automatically light up, spotting various statues littered around the edge of the room. Seeing a massive statue in particular, everyone begins wondering what the challenge of this dungeon could be, but as they begin inspecting the room more, they stumble upon some writing in the room. With the leader Song reading out the commandments of the Kartenon Temple, the commandments state that they must fear, praise and prove their faith to God, or else they will not leave alive. Just then, the room's doors slam shut, prompting one of their group members to get freaked out, stating that they will personally be leaving. Before the group member can reach the doors, one of the statues suddenly moves, instantly decapitating the group member, leaving everyone in shock. Trying to digest the situation, Jinwoo notes how the group member that was instantly killed was at least D rank, and seeing as that single statue was able to move, Jinwoo turns around to observe the massive statue behind them, breathing heavily as the statue's eyes suddenly glares at him. Having survived death many times, Jinwoo had learned to survive with the most minimal of equipment, and instead rely on his instincts. Sensing something from the statue's eyes, Jinwoo cries for everyone to get down, right as the statue's eyes shoot a powerful beam at everyone in the party. With another one of their members incinerated, everyone begins to beg for their life, all whilst Jinwoo racks his brain to figure out how to survive. Check out one of our other videos on the screen or in the info card above. Subscribe, like and comment.